Like, ideally, what Real Madrid would do is send ARDA GULER on a loan, allow him to develop, kind of like what they did with Martin Ødegaard. Again, with Martin Ødegaard, actually, they sold Martin Ødegaard. Be a world-class player. You put him in any other team, even a team like Dortmund. I feel like Dortmund would be amazing for ARDA GULER and his development. As much as I don't like Dortmund's transfer market policy, you can't. Real Madrid are full of talent, from Ballon d'Or contenders like Vinicius Jr., Mbappe, Jude Bellingham, to other players like Camavinga, David Alba, Courtois. This is the most stacked team in the world, and ARDA GULER is one of the youngsters, one of the most exciting youngsters in Europe, and he is at Real Madrid. So I don't know why we haven't made a video on ARDA GULER yet, but without wasting any more time, guys, let's get straight into it. ARDA GULER. The real reason why I decided to make this video is because every time I watch ARDA GULER play, whether it's for Turkey or for Real Madrid, you just see how technically gifted he is. You see how tenacious he is. And then I look at the rest of this Real Madrid team and it's like, he just doesn't have any space. And even this year, he's played, what, 9 or 13 games, something like that, and he only has 1 assist. And the reason why, you could probably count out to inconsistency, you could probably count out to the fact that he's so young. But it's also because he doesn't get the time to get himself comfortable with the team. The team is always changing. There's always like a different lineup and a different setup, because Ancelotti is still trying to make things work with all the superstars in the team. So ARDA GULER doesn't really get that same consistency that he would otherwise get in another team. If you put ARDA GULER, for example, in a team like Juventus, a team like United, a team that really needs a player like ARDA GULER and that will play him week in and week out, we're going to start seeing a lot more consistency from ARDA GULER, and this is also only going to help his development. And I feel like the perfect example for this is what's his name? The perfect example for ARDA GULER and his development at Real Madrid being slowed is Martin Ødegaard. Martin Ødegaard came to Real Madrid and he made his debut at the age of 16. And with Martin Ødegaard, you could already tell how technically gifted he was, how he could read the game so well at such a young age. But then, of course, as we all know, Real Madrid had to let him go because he was underperforming, and he was underperforming because they stunted his development. I'm scared the same thing could end up happening with ARDA GULER. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but again, it's very hard. Again, Real Madrid is not the type of team that just tends to develop talent like that. There are some exceptions, like Nacho. He was developed at Real Madrid, like Morata, but then they had to sell Morata. Lucas Vazquez, Asensio, what's his name? Valverde wasn't really brought up through the. Was Valverde? I'm just going to leave Valverde out there, but there are very few examples, especially in comparison to the guys that really go on to make a massive impact at Real Madrid. The Luka Modric's of the world, the Ronaldos, the Gareth Bales, the Karim Benzema's, the R9s, the Zidanes. Real Madrid, they're very good at attracting these big players, but then that also means that these players end up taking a lot of the space in the team. So that Real Madrid are much better at getting the best players in their team, but developing talent is kind of hard because these star players, these world-class players, they're usually on big contracts and they want to play, and they have clauses like if you play a certain amount of games, you get extra money and stuff like that. So it just makes it so much harder for a lot of these younger players to be playing. And again, when you see ARDA GULER, you're seeing in this video so far, his technical ability, his ball progression, his ability to read the game. It's like, and this year he's only had 1 assist. But then again, you look at his skill set and it's like, how does this guy only have 1 assist? He's not scored any goals. Like, ideally what Real Madrid would do is send ARDA GULER on a loan, allow him to develop, kind of like what they did with Martin Ødegaard. Again, with Martin Ødegaard, actually they sold Martin Ødegaard to a point before they got him back to the team, but then they eventually sold him to Arsenal just because you can't ask Toni Kroos or Luka Modric to stay on the bench, and you can't ask a player like Martin Ødegaard to stay on the bench either, because we all know what Martin Ødegaard went on to do at Arsenal. So yeah, that's kind of my worry for that's my biggest worry for ARDA GULER, where you have an extremely talented player, a player that can go on to a player that can go on to, you know, do great things in his career, a player that can go on to be a world-class player. You put him in any other team, even a team like Dortmund. I feel like Dortmund would be amazing for ARDA Güler and his development. As much as I don't like Dortmund's transfer market policy, you can't deny how successful Dortmund are at developing talent. Like, just ARDA Güler going on loan to one of these teams would be a massive benefit to his career. And then another guy we need to talk about in a future video is Endrick, because Endrick at the minute is also suffering from the same problem, where the team is just too stacked. Real Madrid are just too stacked. They've got too many world-class players, and it's very hard to put any of them on the bench at any time. And of course, the big names, the players that have delivered the most, they're going to get priority, as they should. So it leaves guys like ARDA Güler to stay on the bench. As much as I love Real Madrid, as much as I want them to be successful, and as much as I want these young players to succeed at Real Madrid, I can't deny the fact that as far as development goes, Real Madrid is not the right team. Real Madrid is not the right team as far as developing players goes. It's developing young talent. I mean, developing players, Real Madrid are always good at developing players, but developing young talent, Real Madrid, it's not the place for it. And another reason why Real Madrid are not the right place for developing young players is because Real Madrid want to win right now. Real Madrid don't want to wait to win in 5 years or 6 years and develop a team like Arsenal are doing, for example. Real Madrid want to win today. Real Madrid fans, they're extremely impatient as far as results go. The board and Florentino Perez, they want results today, and to give them credit, that's part of the reason why they're so successful, because they're not passive about it, because they're on it, because winning is like breathing oxygen to them. That is of course going to bleed over and manifest itself in results. But at the same time, again, as far as developing young talent goes, it's kind of a hindrance. But anyways, guys, I appreciate you watching till the end. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, share. Do all those things to please help me grow this channel. And as per usual, I'll see you soon.